Hey everybody, Brandon here from Bridgelux, and back again with the latest installation of our Ask App series of technical videos to help you with some of your lighting issues and lighting knowledge. So today it's all about troubleshooting. We get a lot of questions on our website and from call-in people about how do you figure out what component is broken in your light, because you buy a light and you expect it to turn on, and if it doesn't turn on, you immediately think the COB or the LED is the problem. But lights are more complicated than that. There's more systems involved than just the light engine. And so what we're gonna do today is walk you through this hierarchy of troubleshooting to see if we can find out which level of what component is actually broken. So quickly, the hierarchy is made up of these 5 different types of troubleshooting locations. At the bottom is the basic stuff. Above that is things that you can see and sense with your own body. The stuff above that is what I like to call the black box stuff. And those are things that are like systems into themselves, like a power supply or something like that, where you have an input, it does something in the black box, and then it goes to the output. On top of that is there's component level stuff inside of each one of those black boxes that could potentially fail. And that's where we kind of find ourselves with the LED and COB issues, is at that component level. And then on top of that, there is sometimes just random variations that are very difficult to distinguish of what's the cause of a certain effect. And so we kind of lump that at the top and say these are just random type of things. But you know, like I was saying, the component level is where the COBs and the LEDs normally fail, and those are categorical type failures like thermal management issues, electrical issues such as you provide the wrong voltage, provide the wrong current. It could be mechanical issues in terms of how do you put the products together, and those mechanical issues can actually cause some of the other issues, be it thermal or electrical. There's some chemical compatibility issues, and then there's some situational issues that come up from time to time that are not necessarily obvious but will cause a component to fail in one of the various ways. If you don't properly vent your lights, or you put them in the wrong, you put them outdoors when they're indoor lights, and things like that. So, but the question then is, how do you actually get to that component level? So what you want to do is start at the bottom of your hierarchy of troubleshooting right here. And the bottom says basic stuff, if you can't see it very well. It means like the most basic stuff. So if your light doesn't turn on, is it plugged into the wall? You should check that out, you know? If that wall outlet has a switch on it, make sure the switch is turned on. Make sure the circuit breaker is turned on, the real basic stuff. And then moving up the hierarchy of troubleshooting right here, you get to the visual and tactile stuff. Sometimes you just want to do a visual inspection. You want to actually touch things to make sure that there isn't a problem that would be hard to sense, but is it just so obvious you don't want to take the time to do it. So, you know, make sure that you don't have cuts in your wires. Make sure that if you're looking at your LED that there's not pock marks in it, or it's not burnt out or anything like that. So use your senses first. Then you want to use your electrical sensing equipment like a voltage meter or multimeter or something like that to do these black box checks. And so here's a good example is with a power supply. So let's say a power supply input takes 120. So you can measure what's the input coming into your power supply if it's 120 VAC. And then if you know what the output is, let's say it's 24 volts, 500 milliamps, measure that too. And if the output matches what your expectations are, then you can be pretty sure that the problem is not inside of that black box. And then you move on to the next one. We like to look at these systems as just sort of like, you know, the wall to the light type of systems where we can troubleshoot each one of the black boxes along the way. So you've got the wall, which has a cable, which could be a black box, that could be damaged. You have the power supply that it goes to, that's a black box, and there could be some component damage in there. There could be, then you connect to a controller, then you can connect to the light engine, and any one of those steps could be where the problem is. What you want to do is try to find out which step along that from the wall to the light is the problem. And once you have found out that it actually is the LED or the COB, then we want to try to find out what the cause of that component failure is. And that's when you want to reach out to companies like Bridgelux, the applications team, and say, here's the problem that we had, here's what we did to troubleshoot it along the hierarchy of troubleshooting. And that's when we're going to come in with our more sophisticated equipment where we can find out what the real problems were, be it chemical, mechanical, electrical, and things like that. So hopefully this can help you in troubleshooting the basics of your troubleshooting. Hopefully it can get you closer to finding out what the problem is. And if you do need to, remember, reach out to us on our website, give us a call. We're happy to help out, and we'll see you next time in the Ask App series. Thanks.